issue is most people, when you're playing your guard, you're dead center. And I do this sometimes. I will pass through this positioning, but the issue with dead center is you can use your legs a lot, sure, but it's hard to create space. And most people are so concerned with like alignment, meaning they're keeping their hips in a line, facing the direction they're going. But again, that's the second priority. The number one priority is distance. So even, let me use you because I think since you're tall, it's like a clearer example. Just be right here. Right? Even if his feet are in alignment with me, if he loses distance to the point that I'm trying to keep the feet there, right? See, because I'm trying to highlight the point of even if your feet are here. Even if his feet are here, once I get chest over chest, now when he pushes with his feet, he's staying put. You understand? Like this is a smash position. And it may end up with, there's so many different variations that could happen from here, right? So it could become a stack pass, it could become a leg drag, whatever. But objectively, now my weight is dead center over. So he's like pushing me straight up and himself straight into the floor. As soon as I get off kilter a little bit, see, now the pressure of him pushing is pushing me out, right? So it's just like, you know, a Swiss ball, like one of those, you just balance on it. There's like a center of gravity point. When you're there, your balance is there. As soon as you get a little bit off, you start moving around, right? And the passer's job, to stay there, is like, again, if a force was coming this way and you push on it, that force with both hands, right? Yeah, see, that force is locking him into the floor, right? As soon as that force goes over here, now it's sliding a little bit this way, and the more I go here, the more he's going out, and you're losing the control. That's the objective of both the guard passer and the guard player, right? So, stand up real quick. So when you side tilt, it's much easier to set space. So let's just say, be standing about right here. Most people, what they would do is if they were here, they would maybe use the foot and they would center up in here. So I just realigned, but he's still pretty close right now. What I want is not to just realign, I want to grab space. You understand? So I didn't just realign, I grabbed space. That's what most people are missing. Now, if you're dead center all the time, also, it's much harder to track. So if he just stands here, I have to use more mobility to come over, right? As soon as I go on a side tilt, my feet now track the direction that he's going. I don't have to use mobility to follow. It's like my feet, you know, in a straight line go where he goes. As soon as I'm this way, I now have to use more flexibility to track. Additionally, when I'm on a side tilt, I could come up on my elbow. I can always grab space by going from one side to the other side. It's like walking. You have to go one leg at a time, right? So when you're dead center, you can't move. When you're on one side, you can then rock to the other side, rock to the other side. Now, if he was standing tall, for example, here, just stay dead center, both feet like this, right? If he's standing tall, right, I could just do it like this, right? Like that, boom. And if he has my pant leg, so grab both pants, right? Same idea. I'm here, right? I shift to one side, shift to the other side, see? And I grab space. Then I can start coming up and starting to build offense from there, okay? So what you're trying to train your brain to do here is to understand that grabbing distance is super important, okay? Again, that sounds like a very woo-woo-y, oh, distance, okay? You want to, you know, but really when you understand it, that is the number one priority when you're playing open guard, is setting distance. There's always safety when you have distance, okay? Because the hard part is like a lot of you guys come in and there's collar sleeve guard, there's spider guard, there's worm guard, there's close guard. Like, how do I know what to play? There's so much, right? You can play, like, there's no correct answer on that. You can play this one, you can play that one, whatever. But I promise you, all of them, you're gonna have to maintain the distance, right? So that is the core foundation of your guard. Your ability to defend with no grips and keep them off of you. That's what we're working now. As you can do that, you can just start overlaying different guards and playing with things. And a lot of guards that a lot of people play, you don't even actually need if you don't want to, right? They're just nice extras. But if you cannot have no grips and maintain distance, that is a core indicator that that is the biggest weakness in your guard, and that's what needs to be worked on, okay? So now all I want you guys to do is focus on that side tilting position to try to grab space. I'll talk a little bit more about the side tilt because it can be not very intuitive feeling at first. So what I want to do is like there's this bone like on the side of my pelvis, I guess, like it's right here, sharp spot. I want to try to distribute all of my body weight on that bone that I can. I open my elbow a little bit just to give me a little support so I can balance. If I'm like this, sometimes you might fall over, right? So I try to go here, I lift my feet up a little bit. So imagine they start center. I open my right knee just a little. It's not like a super flexible thing, just a little bit. Rotate onto that hip bone. I keep my hips up a little bit and I'm in this position. Never let two shoulder blades touch the mat. That's another major one that's simple. If you ever feel two shoulder blades touching, you're immobile, right? You're gonna spin and move easiest when there's less of you on the mat. It's like a top. It spins because there's one point of contact, right? So I'm like this. This kind of positioning, it's very easy to change sides, move, right? I can spin, stand up, right? I can like spin and follow really easy. It's easy to move. You need to learn to get this side tilt positioning going if you don't know how to do it. Because most people are used to being just dead center stuck like this. And even though your feet are in play, really quickly you start already, even if you didn't, that's great. But yeah, I'm already so jammed up. I feel so much weight. As he comes in there, start coming in there, I need to get off on the side. Now I'm creating angles to start creating offense. Okay? So I want you guys to just play with that side tilt positioning, try to get a feeling for it, and also play with alternating off of the hips or the biceps to try to set the space. Does that make sense? All right, let's go. 1, 2, 3.